right. March Madness is official. The brackets are out. Everybody, it is tournament time. Let's get ready. Let's get ready. We should make a lot of money this tournament season, and I'm here to help you. So we're going to talk about the brackets, who we like, what game's going to be upsets, and, all of the above. So let's get started. We got the 4 number 1 seeds, which is Duke, Michigan, Arizona, and Florida. And then we have the number 2 seeds, Houston, Connecticut, Iowa State, Michigan State. This is going to be a great tournament. There are definitely some Cinderellas in this tournament for sure. So let's get to it. Let's talk about it. We're going to start with the first 4 in. This matchup start actually tomorrow, March 17th. So we got North Carolina State versus Texas. We do have SMU versus Miami, Ohio. Howard versus UMBC. Let's start with North Carolina State versus Texas, with Dylan Swain leading all categories for Texas and Paul McNeil Jr. leading the category and scorer for North Carolina State. Their point average is almost identical. Texas is averaging 83.8. North Carolina State is averaging 83.7. Texas, they're actually on a 5-game losing streak coming into this tournament, so they're very cold. And North Carolina State, they're not doing any better themselves. They're 1-5. They're 1-4 in their last 5 games. This is probably going to go down to the wire. I think whoever wins this game, they probably don't get no further than just this game. So this is going to be a Cinderella type of story that we have here. But I'm going to give the edge to North Carolina State just by them playing a little bit better. We're going to give North Carolina State the edge on this game and have them actually going into the real tournament. Next game, we got Miami of Ohio versus SMU. Now, we all know Miami of Ohio finished the regular season undefeated, but then they get to their conference tournament and lose the first game. So what to expect from them, who knows? SMU, they was pretty consistent all season. They're not that bad at all. This is a perfect matchup for Miami of Ohio for them to prove themselves. And for them to show that, them losing their conference bracket doesn't really mean anything and actually go pretty deep in this tournament. They are underdogs by 7.5 points. I think Miami of Ohio, they're going to win this game. And I do think they're going to go pretty far in this tournament, not too far, probably to the round of 32. I think them losing their conference game was a fluke. It's just something that happens. They got their loss out the way, and I think they're ready to ball it up. I'm rolling with Miami of Ohio. I'm taking them to get to the round of 32. I think they're going to have their glass slippers on for sure. And then we got Howard versus UMBC, Baltimore College. We're going to rock with UMBC on this one. It's a fairly close game. Howard, they do score a little bit more points, 77.5. UMBC, they're averaging 76.2. UMBC, they do have a better field goal percentage, 47%. Howard field goal percentage, 46%. The rebounds is tightly close, 35.5 rebounds for UMBC, 36.6 for Howard. And then the assists, Howard do average more assists than UMBC. They get about 16 per game. UMBC get about 12 per game. I like UMBC. I've watched them play throughout the season. I like what they do. I've seen Howard a couple times. But like I said, I think UMBC definitely got the edge in this one. So we're going to take Baltimore to go ahead and get out that first 4 and go to the real tournament. Last, we got our only Wednesday game for the first 4, which is Prairie View versus Lehigh. I'm taking Lehigh just because I heard of them. I really don't know too much about Prairie View. I have heard of Lehigh. When they get in the tournament, normally they do all right. So let's take them to get out the first 4, and let's take them to go to the next day and see what they can do in the real bracket. Now let's get to the real bracket. The first game, we got Duke versus Siena. This is a no-brainer. Duke is definitely stronger than them. They are one of the strong team in this tournament. Duke is going to blow them out. They're going to dog walk them. They're going to blow them out, probably beat them by 40. That's an easy game for Duke. So Duke, they go ahead and advance to the next round. Then we got Ohio State versus TCU. That's going to be a close one. I do like Ohio State. I give them the slight edge on that one. St. John's and Northern Iowa. Northern Iowa can put up an upset. St. John's has been playing, spectacular basketball throughout the tournament and leading up to the tournament. So they do got that fire in them. Let's give St. John the edge. Kansas versus Cal Baptist. Do not sleep on Cal Baptist. I do not know if they're going to win this game and upset Kansas, but that is a strong possibility. They really can't pull this upset off. But if you guys are betting, definitely take Cal Baptist with the points. They're going to cover the points, might win the game. Trust me, they might win the game. They're a very good shooting team. Another good shooting team that might do an upset. We have Louisville versus South Florida. South Florida is on fire. Their defense is stepping up. They can shoot the ball. They're ballers. They're getting 5.5 points, I think. That's another great underdog to bet your money on. Michigan State, North Dakota State. Two different teams. Michigan State, they're going to go through North Dakota State. They're going to cover the spread. We're going to take Michigan State. Then we have UCLA versus UCF. I'm going to get an edge to UCLA. I'm a UCLA fan, so this is probably me being biased. I don't know about them covering the spread, but I do know UCLA. We're going to get through UCF for sure. UConn versus Foreman. UConn, they're going to demolish them. We're going to take UConn. We're going to take all the points that's given in that game. UConn are going to beat the crap out of Furman. So that's the East bracket. So then we have the South bracket. Florida, they don't know who they're playing yet, but whoever they play, they're going to win. So we're going with Florida no matter who they play. Then we have Clemson versus Iowa, which is going to be another doozy type of game. Two similar teams. That's why they're 8-9. I think we're going to get an edge to Iowa. Then we have Vanderbilt versus McNeese. Now, McNeese, they can pull another upset. This can be another one of those type of games. If not, they're definitely going to cover that 11.5. So we're going to take McNeese to cover. And I don't know about the win, but they can definitely make it closer than what this spread is for sure. Then we got the Nebraska. They are playing against Troy. Nebraska, they're going to beat the crap out of Troy. The spread is 13.5. I see Nebraska winning by at least 18 or more. North Carolina, VCU. This is another game that can go either way. VCU, they're number 11. North Carolina, they're number 6 in the tournament. But VCU, they are a great team. Trust me, they're a great team. And by North Carolina not having their star player, VCU can be in for pulling the upset. I think VCU can go ahead and take out North Carolina this year for sure. Another great matchup is going to be Illinois versus Penn. This is going to be a high-scoring matchup. It's going to be very up-tempo. Penn's coming from the Ivy League. Do not sleep on them at all. They can shoot the ball over there just like Illinois. So this is going to be a game that goes over. I don't see Illinois covering at 24.5. They're going to win the game, but I do not see them covering. That's too many points for them. We're going to ride with Penn and that over for sure. St. Mary's and Texas A&M. St. Mary's, they need to make a statement in this tournament. To me, I feel like St. Mary's is in the same position Gonzaga was a few years ago. Like they're getting a name out there, but they just haven't really crossed over the hump. So I think this year is going to be that year that they get over that hump. I'm going to take St. Mary's. I'm going to take them to go a little bit deep in this tournament. Now, the next game is Houston versus Idaho. Houston, come on, this is a no-brainer. Houston's going to smash Idaho badly. Houston, they've been playing great all season. And, yeah, they're going to reap the benefits for what they've been doing. Houston's going to smash Idaho. Let's take Houston. The spread is 24.5. They probably win by 35-40. Let's get to the West bracket. Where we got Arizona versus Long Island. There's going to be another slaughter. Arizona's going to demolish them. Long Island, they're two different styles of play. This is a bad matchup. Arizona's going to demolish them. The spread is 31.5. I'll take them minus 50. We're going to take Arizona right there. Villanova, Utah State. Now, I love Utah State. I love what they've been doing. That's a shooting school. Defense has been solid. I'm taking Utah State. They're getting 1.5 points. So they're going to pretty much win this game. I see them going all right, too, honestly. They're going to play Arizona tight when they see each other. So then we have Wisconsin versus High Point. High Point, haven't really followed them this year. Don't know too much about them. I have followed Wisconsin and know what they can do. And they're going to go ahead and put the pedal to the metal and take care of them with ease. Their spread is 9.5. We're going to take Wisconsin with the 9.5 on that one. Arkansas versus Hawaii. Hawaii, they've been doing all right, but they're not ready for Arkansas. They're not ready for Arkansas. Darius A-Cup is a whole different beast. I actually have Arkansas winning this tournament, so if you guys want to go ahead and put a bet on that, That would be a safe bet. Well, not really safe, but that'll be a good bet. Right now, they plus 6,000, which means $100 brings you back $6,000. So I'm taking Arkansas. For me, they're going to be my tournament winner. And that means everybody they play, they're going to win. Starting with Hawaii, they're going to beat them. They're going to cover. Now, BYU, they don't have opponents yet, but whoever they see, they will demolish over there. And then we have Gonzaga versus Kennesaw State. Now, don't sleep on Kennesaw State. Kennesaw State's another team like South Florida. They're going to do real good in this tournament. Now, beating Gonzaga, I'm not sure about that. But I do know 20.5 points is way too much for Kennesaw State. They're going to cover every single bit of that 20.5. This game's going to be really, really close. If you guys haven't heard of them, get familiar with them. This is their first time in the tournament. And I can promise you they're not going nowhere, no time soon. Then we have Miami versus Missouri. Miami and Missouri is going to be a great game right here. I give Missouri the edge just because they're playing in St. Louis. They're playing in Missouri backyard. So I do give them that edge for that purpose. Even though Miami might come on top, I think this is going to go down to the wire. This is going to be one of those games that we probably see a highlight with that last second half court shot type thing. And whoever wins will send them in the next round. All right, now we got Purdue versus Queens. Purdue, I don't even know where Queens is at. So I'm definitely taking Purdue. Purdue is too strong pretty much for any 15 seed. Don't matter who it was. They're going to demolish them. Their spread is 24.5. We're going to take all 24.5 of it. I see Purdue, like I say, dismantling them. They should win by 35 or better. So that's it for the West bracket. Let's get to the Midwest bracket. Right now, Michigan doesn't have an opponent. They're waiting for the first four to see who they're going to demolish. Whoever they play, they're going to demolish them. So let's just get straight to Georgia versus St. Louis. Georgia and St. Louis. This is going to be an up-and-down game. Georgia all season has scored a lot of points. So is St. Louis. They have some good shooters over there as well. I'm going to take the over. I don't really have a outcome in this game. Since I got to say one, let's give it to St. Louis. Let's give it to St. Louis. Let's have them win in this game. All right. Now we're gonna go to Texas Tech and Akron. Akron, they're a great shooting team. They're a great team. Period. They won their conference championship 3 years in a row. This is the third year. They're hot coming into this tournament. They're gonna give Texas Tech a whole lot of problems, and I do see them beating Texas Tech. We're gonna take them plus 7.5. I see them winning this straight up. This is another good money line right here. Alabama and Hofstra. Alabama, they do score a lot of points. So for Hofstra to even think about keeping it within rhythm, they're going to have to be ready to come out shooting. I'm taking Alabama with this. I'm not sure about the 14.5. Tennessee, they don't have an opponent just yet. We will know after the first four, but they're going to be whoever they play. Virginia versus Wright State. Virginia, they're another team that's pretty solid. They're going to pretty much dismantle Wright State. Their spread is 18.5. We're going to take all 18.5 of it. Virginia's going to come out. They're going to do some damage. Kentucky and Santa Clara. I'm not too big on Kentucky. Was never big on them this year. They're one of those teams that's a little bit of shaky. They're a very shaky team. And Santa Clara, they can ball over there for sure. That West Coast Conference got some good teams, and Santa Clara is definitely one of them. They haven't been to the tournament since '96. They're going to do their thing. I think they're going to win this game. I don't think Kentucky is getting out this field of 64 or 68 now, but we're going to give it to Santa Clara, plus 3.5. And then our last game to start this season off, this tournament season, is Iowa State, Tennessee State. Tennessee State, I have Washington this year, but they're nothing for Iowa State. Iowa State is just too raw for them. This is another team that's going to go deep too. So I'm going to take Iowa State with the 25.5 points for them to go ahead and do their thing. And pretty much this is what we have. This is our tournament picks. You guys definitely listen, like, comment, subscribe. I hope everybody do good on their brackets. There is going to be some bracket busters. You guys know how this works every single year. There's a team that just come from nowhere that I probably didn't even see. And they come surprise everybody, beat the top dogs, and make it pretty far. But hopefully we got it right this year. Let's start this season off. Let's start this tournament season off right. Let's win some money. If you guys listen to this far, you know what to do. Hit the like, comment something, subscribe to the channel, and bet with me. Let's go.